Hello, this is part one of the mathematics review for civil service exam. So, a disclaimer, I do not own the review questions. I took it from one of the websites that is publicly publishing the questions. So these questions are from the 2017 civil service exam. So the directions, you answer the following questions by observation. So some of them can just be answered by looking at the given in the choices, or you need to compute to have a computation for in order to have your answer. So you may use the margin that is on your paper already when you will be taking in the actual exam, and then you will have to do the shading. So you have to make sure that you shade the bubble properly. So we'll have to check on the you check on the what are the things that you need to do and observe on the processes that you need to do during the exam. Okay, so this is only for mathematics. It starts with number 21, but this is our first number. So 27,499 round to the nearest hundred. So if you are going to need to round off to the nearest hundred, so you need to know about place values. So we start with the first 9 here is the ones digit, the second one is the tens digit, and 4 is the hundreds digit. So you are going to round off to the nearest hundred. So you look at the number on the right of the hundreds place. So 9 is on the right of 4, and 4 is in the hundreds place. So you can only add 1 to the number that you need to round off if it's 5 or more. So is 9 5 or more or beyond 5? The answer is yes. So that would mean that our rounded off number will be 27,500, and that is letter B. Letter B. Yay, we have our first number. We have the answer of our first number. So you move to the second number. 24 weeks is how many days? 24 weeks is how many days? So we need to know how many days are there in the week. So there are 7 days in a week, and we are asked to know the number of days in 24 weeks. So what we need to do is just a simple multiplication, and that gives us 7 times 4 is 28, carry 2, and 7 times 2 is 14, plus 2 is 16. So there are 168 days in 24 weeks, and that is still letter B. So I hope the answers will not be all B. Okay, so again, you will not be encircling the questions or encircling the choices. You will be doing the shading in the actual test. So please take note. I'm just encircling it for the purpose of the review. So next number, 595 days is how many weeks? So this is the opposite of the previous number. 595 days, and we know earlier that 5 1 week is 7 days, so we need to divide it by 7. So we divide 59 by 7 is, will that be 8? 8 times 7 is 56. 56. Not sure if you'll be allowed to use your calculator, but I have, so that would be 59 minus 6 is 3, and that is bring down 5. 35 divided by 7 is 5, and 5 times 7 is 35, and that will give us a 0. So our answer is C, 85. So there are 85 weeks in 595 days. Next number, 18 bus loads of 56 students each went to join the Independence Day celebration. 174 did not go. How many students are there? So there are 18. You have to be very careful when you are answering math problems because the tendency for us is to only look at those numbers in symbols. We are sometimes with pressure, we tend to forget that there are numbers that are written in words like 18 and 174. So we have to have a presence of mind when answering math problems because sometimes we tend to fail the exam because we are too scared and we are too conscious with answering it fast. So 18 buses, and each has 56 students. If I am right, 18 bus loads of 56 students each. So it states here each went to join the Independence Day. So in every bus, there are 56 students. So what we will be doing is we need to multiply 18 by 56 to determine the number of students who went to join the Independence Day celebration. So 8 times 6 is 48. Carry 4, that's 100. Carry 4, that's 108. 40, 8 times 5 is 40. And 5 times 1 is 5 plus 4 is 9. So that gives a 0, 8, and that gives us 10. 1008, but there's no 1008 in the choices. Wait, we are not through with our problem. It states here that 174 did not go. So 1008, the number of students who went to the Independence Day, we need to add it to 174 in order to determine the total number of students. So that's 12, carry 1, 8, 1, 1. So we have 1,182 students. We have to check, go back to our choices. We have 1,182 students in all. So uh, that would be for our fourth number. Next number, Richard bowled 3 games and got scores of 139, 153, and 28. What was his average scores for the 3 games? So we will be doing, that's average. Average is a combination of two operations, that is addition and division. So we add 139 plus 153 plus 128, and we divide that with the total number of games, which is 3 games. So we start first by adding. So of course you need to you need to have your scratch paper. So 139 plus 153. So we're used to solving adding numbers vertically. 128. So that will be 1230. Carry 2. That's 510. 12 carry 1. That is 420. So 420 divided by 3, that will give us, that is 140. 140. So you can actually check it if you are not sure. That's 420 divided by 3. So that's 1, and that's 3. Bring down, that's minus 3, so 20. That's 12. This is already 4. can actually do the shortcut, and that's 140. So our answer is correct. It's 140. So the average score of Richard in the three games is 140. What time will it be 3.5 hours after 7:15? So 7:15 is there. So if we have 7:15, you can actually do the writing 7:15. After an hour, then we will have 8:15. You can have different strategies here. You can add directly 7 to 3, but for some, it may be hard to visualize. So let's do the in Bisaya, we call it tinamban method. So 9:15, that is the second hour, and the third hour is 10:15. 10:15. Okay, but it has there 3.5 hours. So when you have half an hour, is how many minutes? That's actually equal to 60 minutes. So that's 60 minutes. If that's 60 minutes, we need only to add 60. No, that's not 60. I am wrong. Very wrong. That should be 30. So that's why we have to be very careful. We need to have presence of mind when solving, or else we might be assuming that our answer is right, but we have committed a mistake. So 30 minutes after 10:15 is adding 30 to 15, and that gives us 45 minutes. 45 minutes. But you have to go back also to our problem that it's PM. So eliminate the AM prior to solving. You can already eliminate the AM, and you have only two choices here, so you can have D. Okay, so for some it may take less than a minute or just few seconds to solve it. For some it may take a while. Okay, so we will have to make sure that we are doing it um, properly so that the others can understand how to go about it. Next, what time was it 3.5 hours before 7:15 a.m.? So AM 3.5. So we have to eliminate already the PM here. Um, and then this time we'll apply the observation method. So it states here before 7:15 a.m. So 3:15 is before, 3:45 is before, 10:45 is after. So since this is after, we can eliminate that already. Because when you're taking the exam, you need to answer it as fast as you could. So it will leave us 3:45. So without really solving, unlike the one earlier that we did the solving, then observation can also be done as one of the strategy in solving mathematics. So our answer is 3:45 a.m. So the fraction 52 over 91 expressed in Lewis term is, okay, so this time we will have to do our um, simplifying. 52 52 over 91. One way to do this is you can divide 52 by 91, or 91 divided by 52, either way. Another way of doing it is actually listing the factors, the prime factors here. So we start with 2. uh, let's try the factor 3 method. So if you can see, I have a video there on using the factor tree or prime factorization. So if this is 2, then you will have 26, and 26 can be further factored to 2 and 13. So that will give us 2 times 2 times 13. For those who are mathematically inclined, you can do it directly uh, and solve as fast as you can. Okay, so for 91, instead of using 2, I'll be using 3. I don't know, not 3 because 9 is ano. So what would be the possible factor? 2 is not a factor of 91. We are sure of that because 1 is an odd number man. So you can only divide a number by 2 when the number is divisible by, or if it ends with 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8. So let's try 13. Running 13. 13 is on top man. 13 is on top. So what we need to do is to determine if 91 is divisible by 13. Okay, 13. So in order to have a number that ends with 1, that would be ending with multiplying it by 7. 7. So 13 times 7, so you'll have to check. 13 times 7 is 121.91. So we can have 13 and 7. So what will happen now is we can actually cancel. Why cancel 13 and 13? Because 13 over 13 is 1. That's the reason why we are doing the cancellation there. So we cannot eliminate 7 because the one on top is 4. So it would mean that our answer will be 4 over 7. So the fraction 52 over 91 is 4 over 7. So here, car A averages 8 kilometers per liter of fuel. Car B averages 12 kilometers per liter of fuel. If the price of fuel is $10 per liter, very expensive na, $10 times 50, that would be 500 per liter. How much less would a 600 kilometer trip cost for car A than for car B? So what we need to do is we just divide to determine the number of liters that we need to consume. You divide 600 by 8, so that would give us 756, 56, and then subtract 56, that's 4. 60 minus 56 is 4. Bring down 0. 40 divided by 8 is 5. So it will take 75 liters for car A uh, to consume. So 475 liters. Car B, that would be 600 uh, divided by 12. So different kind of gasoline na siya because you have different amounts. So 600. So 600 divided by 60 divided by 12 is 5. 5, 60. So that would give us 50. 50 liters for car B. This is car B. And this is for car A. And it asks there how much less would a 600 kilometer trip cost for car A than car B. So what we need to do is simply subtract 75 minus 15. Math 15. I'm already giving the answer. 75 minus 50 is 15. 15 would be the number of liters that would be consumed by uh, car A more, but it asks how much less, so 15 less liters. So 15 times 50, we don't need to do the computation there. Oops, not 15, I am wrong, that's not 15, That's 25. See, you have to be careful with solving because it will give us a wrong answer. So if it gives us a wrong answer, the tendency to be able to fail is high. So very uh, important is again focus. Learn to focus, presence of mind, and 25 times 10 is 250. You can always verify from the choices because your computed answer may not be one of the choices. So it will tell you that your answer, there is something wrong with your computation. Moving on to our third number, 40 is what part of 60? So we are given here a fraction. So 40 over 60. So we can do 64. So we can do our prime factorization here. So 40, it ends with 0. So we can have 2. There are, and that's 2. No, not 2. 2 and 20. 20 can still be factored to 2 and 10. And 10 can be factored to 2 and 5. And 5. Well, 64 can be factored to 2 and 32. And 32 is 2 and 16. And 16 can still be factored. If you know the factors, you can actually do it directly and write it there. And 8 can still be, I'll just have to write it this way. 8 can still be factored as 4 and 2, while 4 can still be factored as 2 and 2. So how many 2's are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what we will be doing is rewrite it here. So I'm doing the long process here. 2 times 2 times 2 times 5, right? So 8 and 5. Well, here we have 6 2's. 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2. Don't forget the multiplication symbol. I'm using the dot. Dot can also mean multiplication. And we cancel. 2 and 2 is 1. 2 and 2 is 1. 2 and 2 is 1. So that will give us 5 over 8. So 5 over 8. So 40 is 5/8 of 64. Okay, moving on to the next number. So change 13 and 37 to improper fraction. So 13 and 3 over 7. A shorter way to do this is we just simply do multiply 3, 7 and 13 and we add it to 3. That's a shortcut. But if you want to know how to go about it and to understand better, I can help you out in a separate discussion. So 13 over, no, 13 times 7, sorry for that. That is 21 carried 2, 91. 91 plus 3, that will give us 94. So it's 94 over 7. So we have here 94 over 7. That's letter D. Next, what is the average speed in kilometer of a car traveling 160 kilometers in 5 hours? So what we will be doing Thus, we just have to divide 160 by 5. So, 16 divided by 5 is 3. That gives us 15. 16 minus 15 is 1. Bring down 0. And 10 divided by 5 is 2. So, that's 32. So, that's fast. Next number. 3/4 plus 1/6 plus 1/8. Oh, exciting. Fractions, fractions, fractions. So 3/4 plus 1/6 plus 1/8. So we need to find the least common multiple that we can have for 4, 6, and 8. So we can do the ladder method to be fast. So I explained ladder method in a separate video that you can browse. So we start by dividing by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And 4 divided by 2 is 4. So since there is no common number, we can just bring down the number that is not divisible by 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 3 by 2 cannot be, so you just have to bring it down. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And we'll have the next 2. 2, we just have to bring down 1, bring down 3, and then we have to bring down 2 divided by 2 is 1. And lastly, we have the 3. Bring down 1. 3 divided by 3 is 1. And 1. Bring down 1. So we will be multiplying 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. So that's 8 times 3 is 24. So we have 24. 24. 24. 24. And we put the addition symbol. 24 is the least common denominator for fraction, and for a whole number we call it least common multiple. So next is divide 24, the LCD, to our original denominator. 24 divided by 4 is 6 times 3 is 18. 24 divided by 6 is 4 times 1 is 4. 24 divided by 8 is 3 times 1 is 3. So 24 plus 18 plus 4 is 22. 22 plus 3 is 25. So that's 25 over 24, and that gives us 1. So how many 24s are there in 25? There's 1, and we have a remainder of 1 over 24. So our answer is letter B. Yay! So we move to our next number. So this is subtraction 15. I prefer doing this in vertical method in 3/4. So since 3 and 4 are not are not the same, we call it unlike fractions. So we have first to make them like fractions so that it would be easier for us to subtract. So we will have to, since 3, there is no common between 3 and 4, we just simply multiply 3 by 4, which will give us 12. So we can only do the ladder method if there is something common among the given denominators. So 12 by 3 is 4 times 1 is 4. 12 by 4 is 3 times 3 is 9. So can we subtract 4 by 9? No. So what we need to do is we need to get 1 from 15. So that will give us now 14, and the one there is changed to 12 over 12, and so 1 is equal to 12 over 12. I will have to rewrite it on top so that you will know where I got the number. So the 12 over 12, we add it to 4 over 12, then that will give us 16 over 12. And we copy the denominator, which is 8. Denominator, the second number, and um, that's 8 and 9 over 12. So we can subtract 14 minus 8 is 6, and 16 minus 9 is 7 over 12. So we have 6 and 7 over 12. Letter A. Yay! Next number. This is our last number. 8 inches is what part of a foot? 1 foot. Oops. Erase. 1 foot. 1 foot is 12 inches. 12 inches. So we have to make sure that we are using the same unit of measure. So 8 out of 12. So we can actually do the prime factorization. So 2 times 2 times 2. And 12 is 2 times 2 times 3. So we have 2 and 2 cancel, 2 and 2 cancel. So we are left with 2 out of 3. So 8 inches is 2/3 of 1 foot. So that will be the last number. And I hope that you learned something from our very first review for civil service examination. So again, for disclaimer, I do not own the question. I just copied them from the site found in the slide below. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell so that you will be updated with the upcoming videos. Thank you so much and have a good day.